Okay. Well, how you doing today?
I'm good.
All right, and your name is Monique Harden?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, before we start the session, I just want to tell you, just explain a little bit about the paper that you signed a few minutes ago about the informed consent. So basically, you, as the patient, you have the right of patient confidentiality. So I can't disclose any of your information whatsoever unless there's certain conditions, such as you're a danger to yourself, a danger to others, or if so requested by a court-appointed official. Okay? All right, so what brings you here tonight?
Well, I've been dealing with problems with my mouth. You know, I don't know how to control what I say at times.
Okay.
And it's really been affecting my relationships with other people.
Mm-hmm. You want to explain a little bit more about that?
Well, me and my mother, our relationship isn't where it should be because I tend to, like say things that I shouldn't say,
Mm-hmm.
things like that.
Okay. And anything else?
Well, not just with my mother, with other people too, friends and stuff, and relationships. They never seem to work out.
Okay. All right. So how does that? How does it make you feel before you, or when you, I guess you would say misuse your words?
Yeah. Well, while it's happening, it makes me kind of get like a sense of power.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I like won the argument or something. But then after, I don't feel good at all.
How come?
Because I think back and I just feel like I shouldn't really have said anything like that, like anything as harsh. Because I tend to get really harsh. It's not, just soft, sly, rude things. Like, they're very blunt and rude.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that off an impulse, if you're having some type of, let's say, verbal altercation or a disagreement or discrepancy between, and it's usually happening between someone you care about, correct?
Yes.
Okay, between someone you care about. Let's use your mother for example. Out of impulsivity, you tend to say things that you don't. I guess morally you don't really agree with, but it just comes out anyways. Is that correct?
Yes, most of the time it's impulse, and sometimes I actually think about it.
Okay.
I think about the worst thing to say.
Okay.
Sometimes, but most of the time it's just what comes out of my mouth.
All right. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm hearing a little feelings of vindictiveness or spitefulness. Would that be correct?
Yeah. I would say so.
Okay. So, all right. So saying hurtful things to or I guess reacting without thoroughly filtering what you're about to say or using your discretion to its maximum capacity gives you a sense of, when you say those things, it gives you a sense of power over that individual. Basically, I guess arming yourself.
Yes, definitely. I feel like it's kind of like my weapon. Okay. And in a way, I win during the altercation, but after the altercation, I feel like I lost.
Okay. Can you describe any? How do you feel when that happens? Like how do you, like physically? How do you feel?
During or after?
Do it both.
During, I just get so mad and like my heart just starts to race. Okay. And it's just, I get to the point where I'm so angry. I don't get physical, so everything happens with my words. Okay. So all of the physical tension in my body, I kind of release it with my words. And then after, I kind of break down, and a lot of the times I cry after.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that out of anger, frustration, or irritation, or aggravation, you tend just to say things just without thinking about them that may hurt other people, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so, and at the time you're doing it, it's not necessarily making you feel, well, does it make you feel better?
Well, while it's happening, it does make me feel better. But it's like, during and after, those two feelings conflict. Okay. Because during, it feels great. because I feel like I won. But then after, it just doesn't feel right, and I just feel really bad about it, especially when it's someone I really care about.
Okay. So, all right. So what I'm hearing is that you get a sense of power from it, a sense of strength from it, in a sense, correct?
Yes, I'd say so.
Okay. All right. Well, we're both human beings, and I mean, I'm pretty sure. Not that I'm pretty sure, but I know people for a fact. This tends to happen sometimes in certain situations. People just tend to say things that they don't think about. Even I do that sometimes with the people that I care about. And we're all human, so we're gonna work on correcting that and see what we can do to help you reach that goal. Okay. So all right. So doing that helps you to feel powerful, get a sense of power over that certain individual, and do you acknowledge the implication of those words that the words have on their feelings?
I do, but it's like, especially when it comes to my mother, when I try to talk to her about it, she kind of shuts me out.
Okay.
When I try to apologize, so it's like my apology doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. So what happens after that? Let's take it a step further. Even after you apologize, what do you do afterwards? Even if she doesn't acknowledge it, or if that person doesn't acknowledge it?
It really depends on how severe the situation was.
Okay.
If it's not that severe, I kind of just stay to myself.
Okay.
But if it is, I try to do little things that'll like make them happy.
Okay.
Like I'll clean the house for my mom or wash the dishes, something like that.
Okay. All right. So what I'm hearing is a lot of relational aggression. All right. In the beginning of our session, you said that you do get a sense of power from it, correct? And it's because you don't necessarily know how to articulate your emotions at that time, so it comes out. So what happens is I'm seeing a pattern of resorting back to that what should I say, attacking. You revert back to that attack, but that's, in a sense, that's your shield, that's your protection. Okay? So that's a lot of internalizing. In the beginning, when you internalize that and it builds up and it comes out, and it comes out in a way that somebody's not going to respond well to, at the end of the situation, you still acknowledge your faults, whether or not your mom or whoever the person acknowledges theirs, and that causes you to after you acknowledge it, you feel bad, and then it causes you to do certain things that want to make up for it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's also internalizing, because it wouldn't be communicating, even if that person hasn't acknowledged the apology, you're not communicating, your remorsefulness. Okay? All right, so what are your goals? Let's set you some goals, all right? Which, by the way, you're doing a very good job.
Thank you.
You're doing a very good job so far of acknowledging, what you could do better, and acknowledging, what that you think needs work on. Okay, I just want to tell you that real quick. But let's set some goals for you. So what do you want to accomplish?
Well, mainly I want to be able to control what I say, instead of just letting everything out when I'm really frustrated. I want to be able to deal with that and not hurt someone.
Okay. How do you think would be the best way for you to do that?
Well, I think it kind of starts with me, like actually giving effort.
Okay.
And actually trying to think about it while it's happening, maybe.
Okay.
So I can give a better reaction.
Okay. All right. So let's just remember that of course you're your own human being, and don't put the responsibility, or I guess solely, on yourself, because you can't control outside factors that may want to induce a reaction. Okay. So let's say 90% you, 10% other factors that you have to control, and you actually did acknowledge a process that you could use while those factors tend to intrude. So like you said, if we're having a conversation and you don't like what I'm saying to you, and you want to feel like you want to react, out of impulsiveness, you have to think consciously while that's going on, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So you feel like that would make you more calm, correct? If you were to handle it a better way, do you think that would happen?
I do. I think that maybe not at first, but after a
Mhm.
while, I think I'll probably get used to it.
Okay. So you're thinking that it will probably alleviate some feelings of anxiety that you said
Yeah.
that the stress induces?
Yes.
Okay, so how about this? So I see you in a week. All right, I want you to consciously think about your reactions to people, okay?
Yes.
I want you, especially when you're feeling very impulsive. And I've been there arguing with, people before, and I mean, it is a verbal duel. It's a verbal match. So when you're going back and forth, and I'm not, sometimes I used to pride myself in, okay, let me see if I can say, something else that would have more of effect than what they said. All right? Basically, like you said, trying to get a sense of power over somebody else, but using my words as a shield for myself to make myself feel better and arm myself against what they're saying, but also as a sword to attack them, correct? Okay, so I think that if you set that goal for yourself, I think it may actually benefit you. All right, we're gonna go back in a week and we're gonna see whether that goal or whether this will do anything to benefit you, okay? And then we'll later on assess that. So as far as the treatment goes, we're gonna write up a plan for you, and every time a situation like that occurs, after you constantly thought about not reacting, not can't remember the word, but not subjecting to your impulses. All right, I'm gonna devise this plan for you, this plan sheet, and I want you to write out your feelings of before the incident took place, while it took place, and then what you thought to help you get back to that healthy way of coping with the situation, okay?
Okay.
And afterwards, I want you to tell me how you feel about everything. And then record your feelings at the end of the day, at nighttime, before you go to bed or before you read or write your diary, something like that, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so does it sound like that you may have gotten some things you can use out of the session?
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Okay.
Definitely think so.
Is there anything else you would like to talk about?
As of now, not really.
Okay. Alright, well, like I said, you're not the first person. You're not the first person to deal with this issue. There are people who have dealt with this issue, people who are still dealing with this issue. Okay? So I mean, as you go throughout this office, please don't think yourself as sick or any less or any more handicapped than the next individual. Okay? And like I said, my offices are open. You're free to give me a call, or you're free to set up another session before your session next week if you feel like you have something that's really relevant that you want to deal with, pressing to you. Okay?
Thank
All
you
right,
so
Monique.
much.
Well, it was a pleasure. You take care.